Before I begin the video, I would like to issue a warning. At the current moment, it isn't possible to get shaders on any platform, AMD or Nvidia. Anyone claiming it is possible is lying and trying to get you to install malware. Any footage in their videos showing shaders is old footage from when it used to work. Now that that's out of the way, let's begin with the first topic. Recently, Roblox implemented stricter security measures before the Roblox event called The Hunt, and they've stayed in place after the event. Roblox has decided that renaming the Roblox player to pretend it is another game is no longer a scenario that they support. That was done because Roblox isn't an officially supported game by NVIDIA Ansel. NVIDIA Ansel is a driver-based implementation of Reshade. It is also a cut-down implementation of Reshade based on version 4.8.2. Some people confuse Reshade with Reshade, including BitDancer on the Roblox developer forum. Reshade wasn't anything special or unique, it was an installer for Reshade, and the developers were not the same. Reshade is the underlying technology used by NVIDIA Ansel. It is an open source project on GitHub developed by someone else, and NVIDIA's driver-based implementation of it hasn't been updated since the launch of the RTX 2000 series. It is believed that NVIDIA shifted their focus towards ray tracing hardware, among other things. I knew that this may have been an issue at some point, and I wanted to develop an independent and sustainable solution that didn't have to rely on vendor-locked implementation of Reshade. So, I started developing something I called VK Pipe. It is similar to OBS game capture with one distinct difference. Instead of copying the game's presented frame, it would also copy the depth texture. This is because at a fundamental level, Reshade only needs two things, a back buffer image to use as a light map, and a depth texture for 3D effects. Without a depth texture, shaders like ambient occlusion, reflections, among other things, wouldn't be possible. During the development cycle, VK Pipe didn't require anything special to be compatible with Roblox other than a valid code signing signature issued by a trusted vendor. One such example would be Microsoft's Azure Trusted Signing. I also wanted to develop something that would allow me to uphold client security and sandbox Reshade from the actual Roblox player. I wanted Reshade to stay within a boundary that prevented it from running or tampering directly with the client so it wouldn't pose any sort of security risk. For this reason, I developed a Vulkan layer and an external overlay similar to Discord's recent overlay that runs externally. However, my Vulkan layer, called VK Pipe, is designed to be an internal module that the Vulkan loader implicitly loads at runtime. I chose Vulkan over traditional rendering APIs because unlike DirectX, it does not require writing hooks to intercept data such as the game's rendered frame or depth texture. This capability is natively supported by Vulkan, allowing applications to enable and disable layers. Vulkan layers are optional modules that you enable to add functionality to Vulkan applications without modifying the application's code itself. This approach is inherently supported by the Vulkan API, allowing for the interception of the game's rendered frame and depth texture without compromising security or writing to the game's memory. This approach was believed to be viable for quite some time and was in development. I was close to finishing development until the start of Roblox's event where they implemented stricter code signing requirements. Before, OBS game capture used to work on Roblox if Vulkan was set as the rendering API. Now it no longer works because of the new code signing requirements. It has also broken components of the NVIDIA app, such as NVIDIA Ansel. But why? Roblox has limited code signing to themselves and Microsoft, and only system components and drivers signed by Microsoft, making it nearly impossible for normal developers to develop legitimate software for the platform. It is quite unfortunate because I was trying to develop something that would uphold client security and didn't require anything special other than the regular code signing requirements that were in place for months and allowed modules to be signed by trusted vendors. I understand why they implemented stricter security measures because bad actors were exploiting the weaker code signing requirements. However, the recent changes leave developers with good intentions without the ability to develop software for the platform. I understand software like this isn't officially supported by Roblox, so it can be broken at any time, but it is very unfortunate considering the community and its size. However, there is some hope. Currently, Roblox might be exploring ways that might make it possible to use Vulkan layers on the platform again, and if that's the case, I will be able to implement a solution that is better than NVIDIA Ansel and isn't vendor locked to just NVIDIA. Also, if they do allow Vulkan layers again, it may be possible to use software like OBS Game Capture on the platform again, but at the moment, renaming the client to pretend it's another game is off the table for now. It doesn't necessarily mean that it will not work in the future, or not. It wasn't necessarily something supported by Roblox, so that is understandable. If Vulkan layers are allowed back on the platform and code signing restrictions are potentially more relaxed going forward in the future, at some point it might be possible for me to develop something better than NVIDIA Ansel, and that was my goal over the past few months. Thank you for watching. If you would like to read the forum post, it will be in the description. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Thank you and goodbye.